Hello. Hello there. It is great to be with you here at the Coherence Meditation Gym. This video is going to be about the changing boxes meditation, and I'm going to go over what Dr. Joe Dispenzas' explanation of this meditation is about. I have some notes, so I'll be looking at my notes and also chatting with you. Feel free to make a comment, to ask a question, to enrich this conversation. It'll be a 30-minute conversation. And invite you also to come and join. We are doing this meditation on this Wednesday. We have meditations going on every other Wednesday and every other Saturday. We did last Saturday Blessing of the Energy Centers 2, Botek 2, and I've got to tell you, I am still buzzing from that meditation. I've actually gone back and re-listened to the last part, because in the last part, during our meditation, I had the most amazing experience. It was one of those mystical experiences that we seek for and we come back to. It's not the first one, but boy, every time that I've experienced something like this, and I don't want to say it's been a lot of times, it's one of those moments that you always will remember, and they're at different times during meditations, including one at a retreat, Dr. Joe retreat. That one probably was my biggest one, mystical experience, because there was layers upon layers that I was living something real. This one on Saturday, it was definitely something that I know now, my body knows, my body recognizes that I went somewhere and I lived and experienced something that was absolutely beautiful. And now my body knows to go there, and I want to come back to that place over and over again, because the feelings, the sensations, the love was just absolutely beyond what words can explain. So I tell you this just for you to, encourage you to come and show up and be with us in our collective meditations. It's something extremely powerful when we come together with others, and it's one of the reasons why I created this platform. It was that we could gather. Doing it by myself, my practice takes me to a place, I can do it, but doing it collectively in a group with people from around the world is like nothing I can create on my own. That's most definitely true. And so on Wednesday, we will do changing boxes. So changing boxes is an advanced meditation, and the first thing in the explanation that Dr. Joe goes over is that it is an advanced meditation. So we to know how to get to that unified field is the first step. So basically, how to get beyond that analytical mind and get to the quantum field. So whether that is through through the breath, the breath, or your process, and in the meditation that our the first part is getting us out to the unified field. So and this field, this invisible field, is where everything is unified, where the physical and material are one. It's a place where we create. There's oneness. We're connected to all things. There's no separation. There is no duality. So changing boxes is about going from where we are, that current reality. If in our reality there are challenges, there are problems, there are conditions, there are adversities, there's a certain level of consciousness or unconsciousness there. But as Einstein says, we cannot change or resolve the problems from the same level of consciousness that created the problem. So by going into this place, this unified field, where all possibilities are present, or all infinite possibilities, then we can go beyond that box where all the problems are, where the consciousness is, where we're acting and reacting in accordance to that problem, or those conditions, or that adversity. So going into unified field, we're opening the door from where we are and realizing the vastness of possibilities that exist. And then but getting to this place where we can go out of our box and become no one, no thing, no there's nowhere, then we're disassociating with the material things, with everything in our life. We're disassociating with that. So it's like we become nothing or become nowhere, no time. And I think that, when we have experienced this state, it is getting to this place where, obviously, through coherence and through these elevated state, for me, what I imagine being in the unified field, for me, I imagine space. I imagine vastness. For all of us, it's different. So, and it's really interesting because it's inward, but it's also, I put my mask on, my dark, to not be distracted by my environment, my physical environment. So I do use my mask, and then imagine space, and then like you're connected, you're plugged into to it all. Like it's almost like I don't feel my body. So in this place, in this void, we abandon the 3D reality. Basically, it's like my body doesn't even exist. And so this is where Dr. Joe says we move from space-time to time-space. And what that means to me is that, when we are in this 3D reality, there's the polarity, there is separation between where I am and where I want to be. When we are in this space, there is no separation, there is no duality or polarity, and everything is connected in the realm of thought. And that the key is that the thought is, what are we going to create from here, from the space? So if we think about being in this place of infinite vastness, there are so many boxes. That's why it's called changing boxes. So what box are we going to then move from our current reality to a different one? And in this one, we're not, in this state, in this reality, in this place of infinite possibilities, we are not creating matter to matter. We're creating from the field. We're creating with frequency. We're creating with thought. So that when we get to that point in the meditation, when we're out there, then what are we going to activate in thought? And this is, I think, where it gets super exciting, is because then what do we want to create? What reality are we now shifting into? How are we going to imagine this? What is it that we want to create for ourselves? And I think this is so exciting and so key, is to have that come to the meditation prepared with what you want to create. Whether that is, I mean, personally, I still use vision boards. I still use some writing, I make notes. I make lists of the reality that I'm creating. We all have our way, and if you don't have a way, maybe, play with some ways in which when you are in the field, you can, when prompted by the meditation, activate those thoughts that will give us those feelings, because it's the feelings and the frequencies of already attaining what we want that is going to, like Dr. Joe says, drop that rock in the field that's going to create those ripples, because it's the feeling that attracts it. But it's up to us to create the feelings, to create those frequencies, and know that in this space where we go, it's already a done deal. It already existed because we created it with thought. So I want to come back to my notes, make sure that I don't miss anything. And also feel free to ask any questions here if you have. So we're creating that future. And that's another key, is that we're going up there, or out there, or in there, wherever it is that we put it, we place it, to create the future in the now, in the present moment. And so we connect to it with our heart. And the way I understand that is because we are creating the feelings, the frequency with the electromagnetic field of our heart. And we're drawing our body, to us. So feeling our connection with the heart. We feel the connection with the heart, with that future, because the feeling is what creating that future, because we're sitting in meditation, but we're creating a future with the feelings. So then our body is going to be instructed to follow the feelings. So our body is going to follow our mind to that future, that new reality, because that is where our energy is. So our energy, with that focus, with that attention that is creating that future, is our body's going to be following our mind. So we're creating reality, a new reality. And it's going to follow it to an unknown, because it is not our current reality. It's an unknown. It's a new opportunity, a new possibility that we're creating. So the very important part to remember is that when we are out of the meditation, is that we will, to become unconscious. He mentions in the description that there are two things that need to happen in order for this to become realized. Is that we need to be conscious of the emotions that keep us connected to everyone and everything in the limited reality, in that box that we're trying to get out of. We have to become conscious of those emotions, because we, by virtue of reacting, of thinking, acting, and behaving and feeling about our current circumstances, the challenges, that is where we, by reacting, that's what is going to keep us in that box. So we become conscious of the old personality. Who have we been? Conscious, and so we can catch ourselves. Create that level of awareness that there is a greater level of connection, of a greater level of awareness that is required for us to be self-reflective of that old personality that is keeping us connected to that personal reality, that reality that we want to move away from. So that awareness is what and remembering who we have actually become in that meditation, in that new box, in that new reality, in that future self. So that we can keep that door open. That's what we want to do, is continue to keep that door open to that new reality, to that new box. And how do we do that? By becoming very aware of when we are falling back into the old personality, to the old patterns, reacting in the same way, because that is where our energy is going to be going back into that matter, to recreating the old. So, and then this is the exciting part, and then I want to get to a few examples of my personal, just how I have created new realities for myself and continue to expand. Obviously, so much more that I want to create, but I want to make it relatable, and I want to really simplify it so that we can really have this conversation as if I was your friend, which I consider myself. If you're watching this, I really, I want us to get, we're in this together. And the reason why I'm sharing this information, this live, and doing these meditations is because that's what my heart wants to do. I want us all to be creating the lives that we want, and that are, go beyond what we are creating matter to matter. We're all magicians, and if we really can create from our hearts and get beyond this, this old way of being, this old way of thinking, these old structures that are so limiting, and become really who we came here to be. What amazing things, what amazing world this would be if we each were our own magicians. And I do believe that when we create from our hearts, that we're really showing up the way that our Creator created us to be. So I think only beautiful things, only amazing things, only more prosperity, more love, more connection, more solutions, more innovation, more beauty can come from a place where each one of us is contributing in that way, with our own unique talents, with our own unique history, with our own unique, life force in it. So the last part is that when we are so conscious about becoming conscious of our unconscious self, when we catch ourselves of realizing, oh, that's the old me, oh, again, oh, what are you going to say? There I am again. Look at that part of me, oh, look at that me, the old part of me reacting in that way. You just becoming conscious, and then redirecting ourselves to what we already created in the field. What actions, what personality are you giving life to? But it's that new version of you that you already created, you already felt with your heart, you already have those feelings. If they're already there, everything is in motion, supporting us. Are we staying connected to that, moment to moment, day by day? So then what happens is that in unexpected ways, we receive. The doors open and they come, the things that we want come in a way that we least expect it, in a fascinating, fun way, because that's the way this works. And then we know that we can apply this in so many other aspects of life, and that is just the greatest reminder. And and this is also extremely helpful to me to continue to stay inspired and hear from you as well. So a few examples from me is, and to inspire you, is what can we create out there in the field, in our next meditation on Wednesday. Is it going to be a physical? Are you having physical challenges? Are you having relationship challenges? Are you wanting to create, a living, house, a place to live, or move, a business, more money? The themes that we all want and that we all can relate to is all these things, that we desire, that we deserve, that are we going to allow ourselves to have it and to create it. So physically, I yesterday I ran the Shamrock Half Marathon. I mentally rehearsed it. I saw myself through the finish line. I wanted to beat my past time when I signed up for it like 6 months ago or more. My intention was to beat my time, the time, because this is probably my 15th half marathon, and I, I've kind of hit a plateau, and so I wanted to beat my time, and I did it. And it was, with the things that I had to do to create that was in that vision of me through the finish line with a record time was something that played in my mind, and so what did I do? I had to show up in a way to train in a way that would create that. And so so yesterday was a manifestation of that. I've had 2 knee injuries, and both in the last 2 years. And so immediately when I injured my knees, I knew that I could recoup, and I didn't need surgery, and one of them I healed on my own. This was the one 2 years ago, and then the one last year. I thought, well, if I've done it with one, I can do it with the other one. And neither one of them bothered me at all yesterday, at all. And so, I don't want to, like, these things that we create for ourselves, I could have decided differently. I could have been, a victim to my circumstances of, oh, I have knee injury, and then, why run again, or, be unmotivated. But so I thought that would be a good example of starting to think of, if there's something physically challenging you, that's something that you can create in your mind to see yourself having, that health back, that vitality, that, that physical ability, having, optimal just energy and health and vitality. Whether it's something material, another thing to share that I wanted to tell you was when my house where I currently live was something that came out of a manifestation, and I'm pretty, almost certain that it was a combination of changing boxes and just imagining that future reality created. And I knew it. It was the 3-bedroom, at least 2 bathrooms, a yard, the fire pit in the backyard, the very light. I need light, and I was almost giving up, and it actually, I there was a house that came up before it, and I'm like, okay, I think my time is running up, and I'm just gonna, I guess I'm gonna have to go for it. But then I was like, no, I already seen this in my future. I'm sticking to it, and a week later, the house where I'm in manifested itself in a magical way, in a way that I least expected it. And so that's another manifestation. And there's so many others. Relationships. My current relationship is such a beautiful, beautiful, loving one. And after so many years of not being in a relationship. So what do you want to create? What is it that you want to create for yourself? What is it? Something physical? Is it something material? Is it your business? Is it your loving relationship? Is it a relationship with your siblings, with your daughters, with your mother, father? Is it traveling? What is it for you? And create it and find a way that works for you, that in order to conjure up the feelings, so that when we get to that place in the meditation, to being in the unified field where time and space is there's no duality, where we're one, but there's infinite possibilities. What possibility are you going to come into? What box are you going to land in? And know that commit to yourself to creating the feelings, to dropping that rock, like Dr. Joe says, with the feelings that it's done. What feelings would that evoke? Excitement, joy. Like you want to cry of happiness because you created it. But we're sitting in meditation. But you know that you are the one creating it. We are the one creating it. So how would that feel? How would that feel? How would it feel to have the love of your life? How would it feel to have the business that you dream of? So how would it feel to have the physical vitality, range and motion in your knees, in your strength, in your health? What would that feel like? Write it down, visualize it, practice it, so that when we meditate on Wednesday, we're ready to go and create up in the field. All right, I'm going to leave it at this, and please make sure that you sign up for the next meditation. There's a link somewhere around this video. If you're watching the replay and you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you hear about the next chat about creating coherence. Know that I am a coach, and that what I love to do is to teach and to train with people in the so many different modalities, but heart math is my specialty, and train your nervous system to get into coherence, to get in deeper levels of coherence, tapping, energy psychology, is to help you become a better version of yourself. So I so look forward to hearing from you and to meditating together with you very, very soon. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.